Jimmy! Ricky! You! SmackAtack!
American males, American males. When you say that I'm coming, better run for cover. Girls, you don't need a weekend lover.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the SmackAtack. I am your host, Jimmy T. He is my co-host, the Blue Balls brand himself, R to the B to the V, and of course, our special guest, MS to the G. And we are live on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel and, of course, channelattitude.com after the fact. I thought I'd pop you guys with the American Males intro. But, Rick, what is crack-a-lackin', man?
So we are back for take 2. We've done the red. We're going to do the blue. And, yes, we are 2 American males, a dingo, and we're here to talk about pro wrestling from somewhere in Europe. That's what we got. We are a very worldly group here on the SmackAtack, ladies and gentlemen. You regularly get Jimmy T and myself, but we had such a good time on I Like It Raw this morning. We had to bring him back. He is no doubt one of the most entertaining individuals in all of podcasting, especially here in the HMG MSG. Thank you, brother, for joining us this afternoon on special Tuesday streaming SmackAtack.
Thank you so much for the illustrious introduction there. I don't know if I deserved it, but I definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me once again.
Always love having you, brother. So we were at it early on. We did the talk of the town. We covered the big headline with the brawl at Knox Pro Wrestling, breaking it down. Out there, not incredibly a whole lot of headlines. A few items, gentlemen, that I did want to touch on before we get into our SmackDown breakdown. But I do, since we got MSG here, real quick, brother. I know we kind of touched on the close of I Like It Raw, but I did want to ask you this. I know I guess I could have Googled it, but I wanted to go right to the expert. What is up with the South Park schedule, man? I came in so excited, so energized, man. Love that debut episode, and I couldn't wait for the next Wednesday. And I tune in, and we get a skip week. All right. So then we're skipping every week. I'm losing my enthusiasm, my excitement. I did hear you mention on a Friday locker room that a lot of people were throwing some shade, some heat at the streaming service for this.
No, I don't remember. I don't recall saying that. I think it's just that Matt Stone and Trey Parker are trying to, I guess, float the ideas out there for a bit longer. So that way, to see if there's staying power with it.
Okay.
It's like rather than just rush and put out an episode every week, them putting out an episode every other week right now allows for their water cooler talk to continue to happen and to get a sense of like what the reception will be to it. That's kind of my thought process on it. And now, do I like it? No, like any South Park fan, I want a new episode every week, especially when they're giving us 10 episodes. So. But I guess they're milking it a little bit, which just means that the season itself is going to be a little bit longer in month duration than we had anticipated.
That was going to be one of the things, is that they have less episodes, so maybe run it out longer into the fall season. I thought maybe when I heard you say the streaming, maybe they wanted more time for people to get the replays in before a new episode comes out. But they could turn around episodes pretty quick if they need to flip something on the fly as well with this ever crazy changing world that we're in, right?
Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, that's the basis of their show, is they usually, 6 days to air was the documentary that was put out on about how they usually just take 6 days itself to put out a new episode. So maybe they're getting older, so maybe the additional week allows them to refocus and not feel like there's a lot of churn. Who knows? It's all hypothetical here.
Just curious. I was curious about how they were laying out there. Jimmy, so you don't feel left out up there. Who is your favorite South Park character, and tell us why it is Tugger?
I mean, that's a good question, actually. You know what? I'm probably gonna have to say Cartman though, man, and not because he's fat. He's just.
It's not Russell Crowe making movies, singing songs, and fighting around the world.
Oh, it's Tugger.
Yeah. I mean, I like him. I like most of them, to be honest, man. I mean, I haven't watched South Park in quite a while though now, but I was hearing you guys even before saying, "Is it shitter? What's going on? Is the show not as good lately?" Especially you, Matt. You're the expert.
I mean, I was saying that last week's episode was kind of hit and miss. Like, I mean, it was an end of an era. We see the ending of Randy and the Tegrity arc. So I guess it did make a lot of people happy, but this is 3 episodes in and we still haven't gotten a patented South Park episode with the boys. So that's kind of what I'm waiting on. Yeah, we haven't gotten a Cartman, Kenny, Kyle, Stan episode of any adventure.
What? That's weird, dude.
I know. So I'm hoping that we get to see
that's a good one. I haven't really thought about that. I mean, obviously, we're only 3 in, so we've got 7 to go to let this thing build. But that first one, I don't know if it has been really so long since I've got that fulfillment of South Park, because I didn't follow over to the streaming. So I didn't see the the Cultureverse or whatever it was, and some of the other specials. So it's been a while since I've had my fill of the classics. And I haven't really thought about that yet, that we haven't got a traditional the boys are back in town kind of style episode.
Why would they do that though? That's unlike them to do that, right?
Yeah, we've gotten little pieces here with Cartman and Clyde in episode 2, where it was about Charlie Kirk and whatnot, and then that was also about ice. But we really haven't gotten a true.
That's funny.
Yeah, we really haven't gotten a true boys episode with Stan, Cartman, Kenny, and Kyle all together.
Very nice. Let's see, Dan Heffernan, big week for the family this week. My son will be playing football on ESPNU on Thursday.
Really?
Hey, that's some big, cool ass news, but I know he picked up that big scholarship offer, played some major football. We were just talking about that before we went on air, kind of, looking at Clash in Paris, maybe why they didn't run on Saturday going up against States, and MSG shared with us in a couple of weeks. He's going to be with his finger on the button for ESPNU.
Yeah, usually. I mean, I'm generally on there a lot of times. Like if you watch, what's the morning show?
The DD ad?
No, that's not. That's Australia.
I'm laughing because it's ridiculous.
Evan Canty and Michelle. That's on from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. It's a radio show, but it's on ESPNU. So I generally run that either 2 to 3 times a month. I've been running that a lot on Fridays, to be quite honest. And then, yeah, I'll be running probably some college football here on a Saturday here on one of those channels as well. So
looking forward to the big one. We did college football last Saturday, but it was kind of just dipping our toe in. But of course, it gets going big time this Saturday, big noon. The number 1 in the country. Not gonna get it done. The Longhorns of Texas. They are traveling to right here to the OHIO to take on my Ohio State Buckeyes, and the Horns are going to get put down. First time in college history that the number 1 team in the country is coming into an opener as a dog.
Are you going to go to the game?
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. I'm trying to find something different to check it out here locally. I thought about just doing a watch along if I can't find anything cool, but man, it to get tickets up there is absolutely insane, and it's a freaking madhouse that at my old age I have no interest in anymore.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I was going to ask you that actually, Rick. Actually, you brought up a good point. How hard is it to go to a college game?
Luckily, I know some people that actually still attend there. My niece is an alum as well, and she's always held on to her tickets, so she can grab them up pretty easy at a discount. Now, obviously, for something like this, first game of the year, hosting the number 1 team in the nation, coming off the Buckeyes themselves are the defending national champions. Those tickets are going at a freaking premium, probably going at WWE house show-esque rates. So
Yeah,
probably
especially with Arch Manning behind the at the line now. People want to see Arch Manning play. So, I mean, Texas tickets are going to be booming.
And see, now
it's
you
going to be interesting to see what that rating is going to be. I mean, it's one of the biggest anticipated regular season games in a long, long time.
I want to know one more thing, guys. Now you've got me really curious. I know we're not a college football show, but heck, we're talking about it for now. And because I'm from the other side of the pond, I'm just curious to know, how does it work with college sports in general? Like, if you're an alumni at whatever college you went to, for example, do you get automatic preference for tickets? Say, for example, like, how does that work? Do you go to a Ticketmaster to buy tickets, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of an open public, but it's just like anywhere with like a season ticket holder. If you've been a graduate or attended there or some kind of ties to the university, maybe employment, they're going to have, like, I know my niece gets like a first opportunity to buy,
right,
and she gets them at maybe a different rate than a general public.
Okay.
So, and even if you're a student there, here, our neighbor, they just moved her in last week. She goes to Ohio State. So she gets like a student rate. And those are different. I think they get them for like maybe like 75% off, something crazy like that.
Wow.
But I don't think they're allowed to purchase those for the general public. So even if I try to get my hands on a student pass, they're going to notice my old ass trying to slide into the student section. So they're like, "Hey, pops, get the hell out of here."
I could picture that.
But every school is going to be different with it. I mean, we've got just in Division I football, I think there's like 120 programs at that level.
That's nuts. I love how you guys do that, man, with college sports. I wish we were like that here in many ways, but we don't do that. I mean, we do have college sports, but it's not like it's televised or anything like that. You know what I mean?
It is big ass money. It is, it's no longer the amateur play for the love of the game. We got the nil in place. Even WWE's forking out money to some of these athletes across the board, so they are getting paid major bucks. I mean, you can go through, complete your college program under sports and leave there a multimillionaire is the way that it's set up now.
No shit.
Yep.
That's
and you
nuts,
don't even
man.
and you don't even need to play that well in the NFL. Like, you could end up being a bust, but because you made them money while you were playing in college, you're
entitled to money back.
You can negotiate for it now. Yeah.
Wow.
Under NIL
That's a new
rules.
rule, though, right?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't recall. You like just not long ago, no college player, for that matter, was allowed to make money, right?
Yeah, now they can. They can
technically, yes.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there was under the table shit going on for sure.
Now
there's
they
no
can
doubt about it. 100%.
Now they can take commercial deals if they want to. They can take contracts. Schools can pay them flat out to come to their school, so it's right across the board.
Hey,
they're
shaving our game in Ohio State.
If you think about it, you could technically make some sort of micro pro career out of playing in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you went for your master's degree or something like that, you could just keep playing till you're 30 years old. And if you're playing well enough, you'll get NIL deal money.
Whoa. You can play college sports till 30?
You can finagle that system.
No way, man.
You have to do is transfer to another school.
Well, then you got Kentucky. University of Kentucky, the Wildcats football just named a 7th-year senior their starter. So this guy's been floating around in college for 7 years. So hasn't been collecting a check, but he's been there for a while.
Wow. And wait, and that's always been allowed?
No.
Okay. So that's a new thing too.
Yeah. No, I think that's newer, but I don't know if it's always been allowed.
I didn't know that.
But like, if you think about it, you're just playing football at a new school.
Yeah, but why would you want to go anywhere else, right? I mean, it's either the NFL
that way you
or college
can keep
ball.
playing. That way you can keep playing and get a free education, like some of these people are.
For sure. But what I mean is, you wouldn't even want to go to the Canadian Football League if that's the case now. Like, for example, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when you can make money in college.
Oh, that's interesting. I just learned something new. I like that. But you know what?
Jimmy, I mean, to tie in real quick with I know you really like basketball. You are going to see a bit of a downfall and a backlash for your foreign leagues, especially over in Europe, maybe even Australia for your professional leagues.
Oh, we get a lot of college guys, because
now they won't go. Well, they won't go there because they can get paydays there. They can stay home and go to college a little bit longer and collect a payday before maybe eventually going to the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean,
you will see that affecting basketball around the globe.
Yeah, see, that's going to suck for us because we had like LaMelo Ball, for example, play here before he went to the Hornets, obviously, because of making money at his age. He was only young, obviously, and he was killing it here. But, we kind of developed him here, more so in a way before he went to the NBA. So, you know what I mean? And not just him, there's a few players. The NBL, though, which is what it's called here, is a pretty good league, actually. I would say it's in the top maybe 3 to 4 leagues in the world for sure, man. A lot of ex-NBA players come here.
Well, I'm sure the Ball family was down there talking a lot of smack because that's what they were known for here before they made their way to the professionals. He was
good, actually. Melo was pretty chilled, man. But he was playing up in Sheep Creek, man.
They were all right. But
he was
MSG
playing for a team.
What's that?
I was going to say here on the SmackAtack, we do have a little reoccurring segment that Jimmy and I like, where we look at talking smack, where we find something from the internet, maybe some other pods that interest us. This one jumped out to me. This is a conversation, man, that I've been having for a long time on this platform, going all the way back to when Coach Silv was with us, because I've had conversations with him about this, and that is the value, the worth, the talent level of one formerly known as Sasha Banks, currently as Mercedes Moné, currently over on the Jim Cornette Experience or the Drive-Thru, one of those two. They received an email that highlighted Mercedes. She was actually on a podcast, and she made a statement. If you're not in the business of professional wrestling because you love professional wrestling, then get the F out. So that statement was presented to Mr. Cornette, and his thoughts on Mercedes Moné, and this pretty much hits it right on there. Says she's a rotten actress. She's physically unimpressive. She's blah to me in the ring because she misses as much as she hits, and she isn't trying to, when she's not trying to hold her wig on top. But she still loves what she's doing. We can't deny that she's just not really good at any parts of it.
Stiff.
To me, and I'll break in why after we go around the table here, but this absolutely hits the nail on the head when it comes to describing one Miss Mercedes Moné. MSG, you're the guest here on SmackAtack. We'll start with you, brother. Your thoughts on the career and current times of Miss Moné.
Yeah, I mean, you can go back to Light the Fuse, and you can hear me talk about how I was not a fan of her. You know what I mean? Like her gimmick, what she does in the ring. I'm not really here to judge her on her looks. It's whatever. If you like her, you like her. If you don't, you don't. But, as far as her character look, I can understand where Jim Cornette is taking shots there. And he's right. I mean, her wrestling isn't necessarily the best. Like when I watch her in the ring and I'm watching her go 1-on-1, 2-on-2, whatever amount of people it is, she just doesn't she either injures somebody, not to be mean, or she doesn't pull off the moves as cleanly as other women who are in AEW and in WWE. So I can't disagree there. The whole 8 belt gimmick that she's got going on, or 9 belts, or how many other belts she's got.
I want to talk about that too.
Is a little ridiculous. She's just like, how many, what is that, the rib now? Everybody's in on the joke. The fact that if we just give her a belt, that maybe it'll end up on TV. And also she's got to carry all these belts through, airports and whatnot. I mean,
I think that's probably the biggest rib. That's got to be a bitch in travel.
Like, I mean, it's like she's collecting Funko Pops right now, and she's like sharing them all with people and showing her off her collection or something like that. So.
The belt collection, you got to fire a little bit when she jumped over when you were covering Light the Fuse. Remember that show, Light the Fuse, when we had to break down all of the AEW stuff. We used to have 3 AEW shows here on the platform, and then we had a secret meeting behind closed doors, and like, can we find 2 suckers that will just sit down once a week and cover this entire thing? And we did. Thankfully, he can't hear us right now because I don't know where the hell he's at.
Well, they were already covering Collision, so it was like, if you're already covering Collision, you might as well just cover Dynamite.
Yeah, we had at one point me or you with Ben, and Sylph was there as well, doing Light the Fuse. We even had a Rampage show that Jargo was heading up.
Oh my gosh!
And then Jimmy and Vet on the Wreckage. Suckers. Yeah, now they got to cover it all, do the marathon each and every week. But that is hilarious you say, because I was looking at too with these belts. What does that actually do for the attraction to help sell AEW? I was like, I thought there had to be a rib having to just go through all of these airports, especially if she's going international with some of these, because some of them are like promotions across Europe and all that.
Yeah. It's a lot of belts, Frick. It's a big joke.
And they say that she is quite a draw. And that is one thing with her. I have not been a fan of hers for a long, long time, even going back to the Sasha Banks days, NXT. And a lot of it itself has been the character. I know what she's trying to get at. She sees all these baddies, in music and entertainment, the bosses, boss ladies and all that. Now her CEO. These are things I think these girls are in charge. Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, whichever the one that Cardi that just had, for better or worse, like them or not, they have that persona. She wanted to be that. She's nothing like that as an individual, and she has no understanding of what that means. And obviously, she has no acting chops. She did some Star Wars stuff though as well, but nothing big.
The Mandalorian.
No improv stuff. Jimmy, now that you're back here with us, you have extensively been covering her, especially since going to AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Overall, where is Mr. Cornette on point here? Is he not seeing something we are? Is she better than this?
I think she has been better than this, to be honest, at one stage in her career. But you know what? I've never been the biggest fan of hers either. But I get it, though, with her. And I understand why Tony, I'm sure, would have spent a killing just to bring her over into AEW. So I understand. But and what he says about the wig is so true, man. That I can absolutely agree with, because, man, if you saw Dynamite this past week, she's holding on to her, and her wig looked heavy this week, man, or last week. She's holding on to her friggin' head after time. She's all over the place. And plus, as a person, this is what I think most people find very unattractive about her, because, look, she's not the ugliest freaking thing. She's not ugly, all right? Let's get that straight.
Nah.
Mate, she's not ugly, but a lot of people, a lot of guys, for whatever reason, just don't like her, like don't find her attractive for other reasons. And I think it's got to do with her personality, man. Like, she comes across as a total phony. Like, exactly. Like, remember during the COVID days, and I get it was COVID, whatever, right? But she was the only one that was making her fans stand fucking 100 meters away, pretty much, right? From taking a pic. But yet, if she found you, I guess, semi-attractive or some shit, you were able to get close to her. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's probably what I got my picture with her. She demanded to sit in my lap. But when it comes to her style in the ring, she has had some matches, that really have wowed people. One going back with her and Bailey. But again, that's when they're at the Performance Center, and all they did for weeks to months was practice that match. They had it down to a T. I mean, she's had just recently a lot of people raving about what her and Tony Storm did at All Out down at the Texas show, which was a good one. She seems to excel. If she has 5 matches, 4 of them are probably just okay. But when she can go out there and emulate things that she's seen, like from an Eddie Guerrero match, and she's just doing a cosplay of that, she seems to hit those. She has the small frame, so she tries to go out there and try to replicate the moves of the big guys. I remember in WWE, one of the biggest things, she would always be bouncing off tables trying to go through them, or, the cage spots or things like that. She doesn't know how to wrestle that size. You all right, Jimmy?
Man, I don't know why, but my browser keeps crashing.
All right, so I guess, MSG saying you don't want to take a shot at her looks here. She's not attractive. I mean, yeah, but she has access to dietitians, to stylists, getting that makeup done. She's taking care of herself. But to me, with some of the get-ups that she wears, I mean, she's very comparable. She looks like a post-op Cowboy Curtis from Pee-wee's Playhouse. I mean, that's how I would describe her there. That's just how she is. So that was the overall attractive appeal. She does come off as that condescending bitch, but with all
100%.
that, she is somehow a draw. People are drawn towards her. She creates conversation. She does have a fan base. And as you were talking when you popped out of there, that all these promotions, these 9 belts that she's collected, I've heard that she's drawing houses for them. That's the reason they're doing it, continuing to pay her booking fee to bring them back. She obviously, would anybody wants in professional wrestling, she went and found herself the ultimate money mark that's paying her top dollar to do what she wants right now instead of being under the thumb of WWE. So hate on her all you want. The girl's got it going on.
But she's got it going on, definitely. But can you imagine her without the weave, though? Oof.
Racist Jimmy showing up there again on SmackAtack. But
well, I'm just saying, not to give a shit, but this is what annoys me about women when they wear weaves and wigs and shit. Going to bed bald, I don't know, man. Or even real short hair.
It's culture hair. It's culture hair. But
culture hair.
Let me ask you guys this, because I really want to get you guys' thoughts on this. So let's go back, turn back the dial here. May 16th, 2022. Then Sasha Banks and Naomi walk out of WWE. They hand in their tag team titles
on the floor and shit
over creative differences, and they walk out of the company. Where would you say? Sorry, so that's back May 16th, March 16th, 1 to 2 of 2022. How would you compare who is sitting better professionally right now? Mercedes Moné or Naomi?
Naomi
MSG,
by a long shot. Absolutely Naomi, except for the baby part, though, it sets her a little bit back. But put that aside, it's definitely Naomi, man. I mean, come on, let's be real. By a mile.
MSG thoughts? Go ahead, brother.
You're muted, Matt, by the way.
Oh. You wonder why we weren't getting him.
I'd probably say from a money standpoint, it's probably Mercedes Moné. She's probably
hard to argue that.
She's making more money. Yeah, I mean, if she's getting booked to walk around here with 8 or 9 belts, whatever it is, and they're flying her in, she's making appearance fee, charging her appearance fees, and the fans are paying to see her, and then I'd probably say she is.
But you said professionally, right, Rick? Like,
well, professionally, that's money
here.
What do you do? How do you get money, Jimmy?
No.
When you say job,
that's not no. Look, but in all seriousness, are you meaning, because if you're talking about money, obviously,
money is all. I think that's the one argument you have with Mercedes is she's found that money mark.
Then obviously, if
we've heard
talking about
she's
money,
one of the top paid people, maybe over there at AEW.
I misunderstood then your question before. I thought you meant just looked at by like the companies or by her peers. You know what I'm saying? But if we're talking about overall, including money, well, then it's definitely freaking Mercedes then.
I see she has freedom, complete freedom with that schedule. She's making a ton of money, but I do see what you're saying there. If you're going to look at it from those different perspectives, Naomi did quite well. She went over to Impact Wrestling, showed people, hey, she can get out there, get it done in the ring, won the Knockouts Championship, comes back to the company, and on that rise, it was doing her absolute best work that we have seen from her in the long run that she's had inside of WWE professional wrestling. And Jimmy said, unfortunately, but hey, she's been blessed with child now. So fulfillment in life. So it's a big toss-up. Who is doing better between the two? And it's all about, I guess, how you're gonna weigh it.
Money. It's definitely money then. In that case, 100%. But look, she's money, and no pun intended. She really is. Like, she gets it. She's not the best in the ring, but she can do a lot better if she chooses to. It just depends on who her dance partner is when it comes to her. You know what I mean? But I feel like she looks down on a lot of these female wrestlers. I think she respects Storm a lot. You could just see it. And maybe Athena, but everyone else, I guarantee you, she thinks she's way above everyone else in AEW. And you know what? She kind of is.
Well, you guys study her. Maybe she is a little bit from where she came from, or her pedigree, her background there with the WWE. I think she might be above everybody. She certainly is on that pay scale and in the eyes of Tony Khan. So she is doing all right. Gentlemen, before we get into this week's SmackDown breakdown, we also had, we just celebrated Ben's birthday over the weekend. Great run-in from him earlier on I Like It Raw. Also a big birthday this past weekend. Vince McMahon turned 80 years old. He threw a big party right there in the heart of New York, rented out a nightclub and all that.
No way. Really?
Kid Rock showed up, did a performance, AC/DC performance there.
Even AC/DC turned up?
Vince is a big metalhead there. He loves some AC. That's why we've always got AC/DC as those intro songs over all of these years. Some of the big names. One of the, what do you got? The Stooges, not Patterson. He has passed away. What's the other one? Briscoe was there. The Undertaker and his wife were there. Pritchard's there. Shane was there. John Cena. R-Truth was there. Oddly enough, Kane was there as well. The mayor. No Triple H, no Stephanie. But at 80 years old, on the spot here, guys, MSG, what would you get Vince McMahon, the guy who seemingly has everything? What would you get him for his 80th birthday?
Great question.
I don't know. I really don't know. A walker.
A walker? All right.
Maybe I'd get, at this point, he's got all the money in the world. So what could I get him?
Well, maybe with his driving record, you get him like an Uber card, a gift card.
Maybe an Uber card. Yeah. But I mean, he's got enough money to where he can just hire a driver to drive him around. I don't like, if I had that much money, I wouldn't drive, unless I really wanted to, but I'd be paying people to drive me around. I'd be like,
that's true. He's right. But you know what, Matt, I'm sure he'd be appreciative of some sort of dildo gimmick and named after a wrestler. I'm sure he'd love that. I mean,
he's got plenty of those. So you're going to get him another giant rubber, Jimmy. The guy that has all the giant rubbers in the world. That's what you're getting him.
I mean, shit. He'd be appreciative. That's what I'm getting him. Definitely.
Jimmy's giving a big rubber. I was thinking maybe like an eventual pardon from President Trump. Just in a get out of jail free card, maybe if he needs that. But then, you know what I think I would just get him? I'd get him a pair of like 23-year-old twins and just let him just go to town, do whatever disgusting, perverted thing that he wants with them. Yes.
Oh, he will love that 100%.
And NDAs are, you know what maybe that. I just get him like a notepad of just NDAs. You just rip them off.
It's a custom made one though. It has to be custom made. You know what I mean?
It's like Mad Libs, he just fills them in with whatever crazy thing he has going on at the time, and they have to stay hush about it.
You're like, yeah, I love it.
Vince McMahon, 80 years old. Hell yeah, man.
Wait. Do we get hate if we wish him a happy birthday here?
We can, man. I don't.
Happy birthday to the big man himself, Vince McMahon.
There we go. Vince McMahon, the creator, the man that brought us SmackDown, gentlemen. So let's go ahead and switch our gears and jump on into it. Is our SmackDown breakdown for this past week. We are going back. What was it? August 22nd, I believe, was last Friday. We're going to go ahead and run through from Dublin. First time. This is kind of crazy with a hotbed of professional wrestling there. First time, not just for SmackDown, but for a major televised event.
Really?
Live from Dublin. They're putting that over at the open of the program. I got to tell you.
They've had no televised thing ever before, like in any wrestling.
They put over first time for a major event like this. And damn hooligans from Dublin, man, they were bringing it. They were hot from the very get-go, and they kept it turned up the entire show. I got to say, going back, I know we talked Raw this morning, haven't seen both of them. The Irish here, they put the boots to Butthole Ham there in England. That crowd seemed dead in comparison to the Irish and their big-time chance here. Gentlemen, to get things going here, again, a ruckus arena. They are looking forward to a great night of action, and they are going to get a big-time reason to get big time out of their seats and make some big-time noise, because to start the show, we get the hometown girl, big time, the man, Becky Lynch, again, back in her hometown. She's out on the mic. she's eating it up. They're
This was
cheering
great,
for her.
Rick.
And then, hey, Becky is she's really coming into her own here. She turns it on. She turns on them and gets that crowd to just eat it up. They turn on her. They're letting her hear it. I know, Jimmy, you like their MSG. Your thoughts for Becky getting the crowd to play along with her? She turns them to open this thing up.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good segment. She came out there and she, visibly she knew that she was going to get cheered, and then she decided to turn on them right away. So, kind of letting the crowd know, oh, that's right, we're supposed to boo you, right? Because you're a bad guy. So the crowd bought it back in and they played to it. I thought it was good. And then I thought her interactions with everybody else in the scene was good. I liked her, diatribe about all the amazing accomplishments she's had. Her having a hot husband, that was a funny line. Hot American husband. Yeah. And then, she gets into it with Tiffy and Nia, and Jade Cargill comes out. So yeah, it was a good segment.
So yeah, as we get here, this is Tiffy comes out. So I guess this is one of those cases where she is still the most undesirable, unlikable individual, maybe in the women's game. Well, outside the facts, but nothing really like about Titty Time. But I guess we should cheer because she's not the worst person in the ring. But then here comes big old Nia. They beat down the champ, Jade Cargill, for the save. Jimmy, you cover her regular. You have this conversation. What a missed opportunity right now to finally get a huge pop and a crowd reaction. Where the hell was Lyra?
I was tripping out too.
They're chanting for her.
It's true. I was expecting her to be on this show, let alone that first segment. Why wasn't she part of this show and tour in general? Something's up with that. That's kind of weird. But they did miss an opportunity to absolutely pop the crowd. It would have been great, but for whatever reason, she wasn't available or wasn't there. Hopefully, she's not having a kid herself. Possibly. I mean, shit. It's the
well, that's not true.
Rick.
We did just see her on Monday Night Raw, didn't we? With the Bailey thing. Yeah, she's backstage and she's all like,
that was 2 weeks ago though, when they said that, you can't put this on me because it was just Bailey alone.
Right, but then I thought there was an update this last Monday night when she said, like maybe it was during one of the commercial breaks, but she was talking to the GM and she said somebody really needs to check on her.
Okay. Well, if she's present, I was going to just say, hopefully she is okay. But to me, immediately jumped out in this opening segment is an opportunity to get a big reaction, show that there's a positive side. This crowd is chanting for her. An easy tie-in here. You could have replaced Jade Cargill in this situation. And it had Lyra come out and say, you know what? I know that I can't challenge for that Intercontinental Championship, but that's not going to stop me from coming home and whooping your ass. That place would have gone crazy ballistic, and you would have had a great match there, and especially for the main event. We're going to tie these together. Again, we don't do the segments. We hit the talking points here. We get the open. We're going to sandwich it with this women's tag. There's a few things throughout the show, too, as well, before we get to the actual match itself. So I think they missed big time in this opener without Lyra, even getting her involved anywhere, but especially right here with Becky. The whole thing with Tiffy still boggles my mind each and every week, but I have come up with a solution, Jimmy. I'm just going to tweet Titty Time and ask her why we should care about her. I'm just going to go straight to the source. Ask her about that, about what we've got here. Also, throughout this show, it's 101. We all came up with it from the Monday Night Wars. If it would have been, on the WWE side or the Nitro Thunder side, what we get? We get an opening segment. We get teasers throughout the show, intertwining everything together, and then we get a payoff at the end. One of the biggest payoffs. Right? So one, why didn't we didn't get hardly any callbacks to Jade and Tiffy just having a big match at SummerSlam. Just a few mentions of it.
I know, right.
And except right before the match, nothing hyping up that the whole reason that we had the man character is because Nia broke her face.
It's
They
irrelevant now.
mentioned it in passing.
Neuralized.
Right?
You're supposed to forget that, Rick. That doesn't exist anymore. That was something else.
Why
And
are we
on
using
another timeline?
the hype dissension amongst the team? Can either team coexist as they're going against each other?
And you could see they were getting along too, like, which is weird. I mean, yeah, I don't like that myself, man. I agree with you 100%. But back to Becky, I just wanted to quickly point out what impressed me with her about that opening segment mainly was just how swiftly she turned the script, if you know what I mean. It was very well done the way she did it, man. And when I say well done, it was like 1 second she's cheering with everyone, and everyone's like all happy to see her and whatnot, and then she's just done the turn, and it was so perfectly like done that really impressed me about her, man. I think she's become 100 times better as a professional wrestler now than she was even 5 to 10 years ago.
Yeah, I especially like that they took away the music. You know, her stuff isn't what you sing along with. It's hard for that crowd to get into, which shows the commitment to the heel work.
You'd think her husband would actually take some sort of advice from her, right? From his own wife.
I guess we were just talking about comparisons with Naomi and Monet. MSG, who would you say is the better heel? Is it the wife or the husband, Seth or Becky?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. I'd probably put it on Becky right now.
100%, I agree with that.
I think it'd be better. She's carrying it by herself, whereas Seth's got a whole team to carry him. And plus, you know, Becky is, I think, even though she's a heel, she's still more true to her own character. Versus, I feel like Seth sometimes is playing a character.
I like that. Yeah, well, you can believe that Becky believes she's right and she's being victimized.
Yeah,
and she could see in her eyes when they were really booing her out of the building. You could tell she got caught in the moment for a minute where she started believing what she was saying, which is a great thing. Like you could just see it in her face, like she was pretending like this is real. They hate my guts, so I'm gonna act.
Dude, it's such a good feeling.
It is. It's a great feeling, and you could just see that she was having fun with it. And that's why I like that segment even more. Just seeing her face and the way she's reacting to it. She's good, man. She really hit it out the park this week, man. And I don't usually praise her enough, but this impressed me for whatever reason.
Yeah, I remember being at Dayton, Ohio when the trash started coming down on a promo I was cutting, man. And I looked over at B.A.
Awesome.
Bundy with me, and I was like, man, we got him. But then when we got out of the ring and kids were spitting at us, it was like, dude, like this is heaven. This is what we're doing this for. It's like the greatest moment. There's people projectile their own bodily fluids at us, and like we got it, man. It's a good feeling in a strange way with this weird addiction word of professional wrestling. But the match itself, the main event, MSG, just seemed like a kind of a classic. Not a whole lot of storyline development, maybe a little bit there between Tiffy and Jade and Nia, but at the end we do have Becky pretty much bailing and leaving Nia on the island herself to get beat and babies go over. What you think of the match, MSG?
I mean, it wasn't anything special. You know, it was a typical tag team match that kind of really meant nothing. You know, this was just there for the crowd because they needed to get Becky into the main event because they had brought her over so that way she could be the hometown person. So, I mean, realistically, that's the story of the match. You know, they tried to do some backstage vignettes, or they did a backstage vignette with both of them, that being both Jade and Tiffy and Becky and Nia throughout the show. So they were trying to thread some sort of storyline to the main event. But overall, what does it mean? What does it matter? I mean, what comes from this? It doesn't feel like anything comes from this at all. So
it seemed like it was like Jimmy, this seemed like a really nice like house show main event or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely. And you know what? I hate to say it, but they tend to do this, you know, with a lot of the overseas sort of shows. I mean, and sometimes there's nothing wrong with that because, you know, sometimes it's good for a bit of a change. But yeah, unfortunately, they you know, it does come across like that. That shouldn't have been the main event, but I understand why it was the main event. But that main event really missed Lyra, though. I'm not going to lie. Still, she needed to be part of that match. And for whatever reason, we didn't get her or see her. So that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, big time, no pun it there, miss. They talk about a hot crowd. They were hot for the four ladies we were just talking about. they stayed hot. They were especially hot for our other lady segment here on the show of note. Charlotte Flair taking on Piper Niven. Again, continuing on. Charlotte, one half of the women's tag team champions, the Secret Hervis, along with Chelsea Green on the chase there. My initial thoughts here. A few things. Jimmy, you're this international flavor kind of guy. So I want to ask you this. Is there heat between the Scots and the Irish?
No. They love each other, as a matter of fact. The Scots and the Irish are very tight, man.
Okay, because I was going into this match. You have the story here. Piper, the powerhouse. Charlotte, is the exceptional above everybody else, but the highly athletic, agile performer that she is. Can Albo wrestle? Why isn't she ever in these spots? But I was thinking maybe that they were just doing something to maybe with Piper with the Scottish background, maybe the Scots stealing one in Ireland and all that. But I thought it would have been nice to maybe see, instead of Piper always doing the heavy for her team, maybe Alba in there and having more of an athletic bout with Charlotte. Your thoughts, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. And not just that, Alba Fire is also Scottish as well as Piper Niven. So, yeah, no, you're right.
Oh, okay.
But for whatever reason, they've gone with Piper. And, I mean, the fans were into her, man, were they not? I mean,
They were.
They were really into it, and they popped when she got the win, dude. And it was shocking, though, at the same time, because I didn't expect it. To be honest, I was like, what? She got
We have
the
Chelsea on the distraction and Alba with the face rake that allows Piper. And believe me, I was happy to see at the end to see, and it's a kind of a nitpick and just about the interchanging the partners there. But it was nice to see Piper pick up a win. MSG, what'd you think of the ladies mixing it up here?
It wasn't a bad match. I thought that ultimately, I thought Charlotte Flair was going to win. So they're, having Piper go over definitely, kind of changed it up for me. But it was just another match. I mean, this is just another match to elongate the storyline here between the tag team champs, that being Charlotte and Alexis, and Piper Niven. Of course, this comes off last week when Piper did what she did to Alexa. So I thought that there was going to be some comeuppance here, but no, the heels go over strong here. So,
well, you get the heels a win here, and we do get the announcement that next Friday, or this Friday coming up here in a couple of days, it's going to be the women's tag team championships on the line.
Yeah, no, I mean, overall, it wasn't a bad match, but I don't know. It just didn't excite me as much as I would have necessarily thought it would.
I think maybe a little I was talking to as well, because we're regularly seeing Piper in that heavy spot. Be nice to see Alba in there mixing it up a little bit, if you will. But they do. There is a story with it, and they are progressing it there.
She's
Jimmy,
been neutered a little bit, Alba Fire, to be honest, man, since his character change. She's been kind of neutered, and if you don't know what I mean by that, I mean, if you remember her previous gimmick, she was a lot more talkative. She used to do a lot of things. Now she's just in the background all the time, doesn't say anything really, doesn't really do anything other than be a lackey. You know what I mean? It's
kind of
Chelsea.
a role, but Chelsea's going to be the vocal piece. But Piper, there is something, as you're saying there. Piper does find ways to stand out with the body language and things that she's doing, and gets a little more time. But she's been with Chelsea longer, so maybe I was still trying to find her way there. But good.
Does she
a
look
little
happy though, guys. Do you think?
better. She got a job.
Well,
She's getting paid.
But
her old partner can't say that.
She got a job. She's getting paid. She's traveling.
AEW.
Oh
Her
yeah,
old
she
partner,
did
by the way, she debuted in AEW. Yeah, and last week on
Just
Collision in the UK, no less, as well.
Yeah, so she'll be working the next 6 months of Ring of Honor and then sitting at home collecting a paycheck. So, hey,
That's
she's
the
still
best job, Rick.
She's still getting that paycheck. Well, gentlemen, let's look over at the men's mid card there, and a lot of individuals that maybe should be sitting at home right now and thinking about their direction, and that is the SmackDown Tag Division. Absolutely, the drizzling shits, as we call it around these parts when we look at it here. So, but we do have a little bit to talk about.
I had to. Sorry.
So we got Fraxium and Ms. Mello. They're having some words backstage, but this sets up, as we knew coming in from last week, we're going to get Ms. Mello versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Granted, here, this is the Machine Guns that are like, what, 20 years together, veterans of the ring, been working together.
Still for
Jimmy,
something.
they're put down by Ms. Mello here.
Wow.
Machine Guns match, you know, it's fast paced, in and out here, but they can't get it done, Jimmy.
They're going to be on the chopping block very soon. I'm telling you, the WWE's done and dusted with these guys. I feel.
I think you'll work at HR because you're firing everybody.
I'm firing everybody tonight, man. Well, today, shall I say. I mean, honestly, they look like they're sick of these guys, and they probably have regret sort of, buying these guys in some ways, man, because since they've come into the company, they looked strong. They won the tag bats in their second week, and then now they're just... I feel like it's a rib on these guys, man. They're tiny, they're small. They're not really WWE type of guys, in my opinion. And they didn't get a win over here either. So where do you go with these guys at this point, Rick? Really? Like, what do you do with these guys?
This entire division is just mind-boggling to me. But MSG, I mean, over the years, you've seen the Machine Guns in different carnations, different promotions, what they can do. What's your thought been with their run here? And what you've seen of the tag division on SmackDown, anything impress you at all?
I mean, they haven't had much of a run other than, like Jimmy pointed out, when they first came in. So I can't really grade it poorly right now. It's just kind of been like mid in regards to that. In regards to this match between Mello and Miz, I liked it. I liked the match that they had. I thought that there was a good story being told between Mello and Miz, going back and forth, trying to tag each other or tag themselves back into the match to try and get the glory for the win. So I liked that style, and I'd like it started off slow, and then at one point I overheard the Miz say, "We got to go," and then all of a sudden the match picked up and they started moving more fast pace that is, and then we got a big conclusion there with Mello hitting his lung move or whatever it's called, and then Miz sliding in to get the pin. So I liked it. I thought it was a good match.
That kind of is the running theme with them is, Mello getting that big spot. Miz is the crafty vet, slides in. He's always get that last word. Do you think there's money on these two, maybe as a team challenging for the championships with an extended run, or should we hurry up and just get to an eventual split with these two?
I think they're going to probably get a shot at the titles. I mean, it might as well be them. I mean, every other team is straight laced, or they've gotten a shot, so might as well insert somebody new. Yeah.
Well, it's said there. We'll see what we can do, what they can do. Anything that can elevate that SmackDown tag division is going to be welcome, especially by Jimmy and I. But Jimmy, some guys that also don't want to be forgotten about. They promised they were going to lift up the division and carry it to new heights. What a bitter disappointment that was. They aren't cashing it. We're talking about money with Miz and Mello. Street Profits, they ain't counting them profits nowadays, man, but they're out here taking on your boys, Jimmy, Tongaloa and JT Meat and Potatoes, Fat Tonga, if you will. Jimmy, I was actually shocked that the Profits went over this one, but I was happy to see it.
Was this Bizarro World? What the hell happened here? But see, I was shocked as well. My issue is, what's it going to do for them moving forward, though? Is this win going to mean something, or is it going to mean absolutely nothing? And that's what worries me about the Profits, because now, how long has it been since you start stopping thing has been going on with them? At least 3 years, it feels like, at this point.
Yeah.
Really? And they still haven't figured out what to do with these guys yet. They don't know what to do. Because, you know what's sad? Give it another 2 weeks, and suddenly they're going to repackage them again. You know what I mean? And then what? And then we go back to the normal way again. And then what? They keep switching back and forth, and they're ruining them. They really are. It's almost sabotaging the poor guys, because people now starting to not really give a shit. So I'll go back to this win. Is this win going to do something for them, or is it just all smoke and mirrors?
I think, a lot of the match itself here, you see a lot of athleticism to remind people why they have faith, why they are fans of the Profits. Both of them do well. I mean, Ford, everybody
Absolutely.
just have labeled for so much, destined for greatness, but Dawkins as well. Of course, they pick up the win. They're dealing with some outside interference from My Family Tree, but it's Big Jim. He's in here. Sammy comes in. They run the diversion tactics to allow the Profits to pick up the big W. I think it was right to give the win to the actual tag team, to someone that can be a regular competitors, challengers, or even carry the straps for you. But again, where is this division going is the bigger question. MSG, my family tree, this collection of misfits, if you will, are they doing anything for you? As you've seen all these other incarnations of the bloodline, especially.
Yeah, I mean, as far as what they're doing on a week-to-week basis, it isn't bad. I liked the backstage segment with Solo when he was talking with Big Jim and Sami Zayn and telling him to, name his kid after him. So I like
favorite
that.
uncle.
Yeah, his favorite uncle. So I thought that was funny. I like seeing new wrestlers in WWE with Tala Tonga and JC Mateo. So I like that aspect. I like that those guys, they're trying to insert them into the tag team division, but obviously if you're not going to pick up victories, then you're not going to really go far. So, but I do like what they're doing with it. I like that they've tried to separate themselves from the bloodline, and then it's just a whole new faction instead of My Family Tree.
Jimmy T is your boy, the dog, the werewolf. Fatu, is he not allowed out of the country?
That's a good question, because technically it's pretty hard to get into this country, for example. And I'm wondering when WWE do come down to my neck of the woods, is he going to be able to get into the country? So that's an interesting question. But WWE, let's not get it twisted. They got a lot of power, man. They infiltrate everything. So I'm sure they're going to figure out ways to be able to bring these guys into the country, because they've done it in the past, man, and they continuously do it. But then again, we didn't see him in the UK, though, right?
I know he hasn't been around, so I was just curious there if that was what was holding him back.
It's more than likely that's the reason, man. And I'm sure in France they don't have that problem. They usually just allow anyone in, pretty much, compared to the way our countries all operate.
Ooh la la! Okay, we're gonna see. We'll see
Oui.
the werewolf in Paris. We'll see that. Well, I do know who wasn't in Dublin. Well, he was in a Dublin, just not the right Dublin. He was in Dublin, Georgia. R-Truth got on the wrong flight, booked the wrong plane. So he's not going to be there for his match against Aleister Black, but he's got a friend that's going to fill in. And we have Damian Priest with the run-in. Not really much to talk about there. It pretty much goes nowhere, but we are getting a setup is continued to build there for the SmackDown special. Let's see how I want to do this. Our other two big highlights on the SmackDown breakdown. Go ahead with this one. Drew McIntyre. He enters the scene here after the Black and Priest brawl and security shenanigans and all that, and he wants to know about the update, the health update on Cody Rhodes, and no one has anything yet. They're protecting Cody, and he is sick of it. And he wants that championship. In fact, he tells Cody right now to kick his wife out of the bed and spend as much time with that championship as he can, because sooner than later, Drew is coming to claim it. And then MSG, holy shit, man, that place comes alive. Place starts popping. It ain't for Drew. RKO Randy Orton right behind him, and Drew eats one. The roof comes off the place. Hey, Drew's got his eye on that prize, but he has forgotten about maybe some unfinished business here from SummerSlam with the Legend Killer there. MSG, your thoughts here, man? I thought it was a big pop moment for him.
Yeah, the crowd went really crazy to see him, and I liked Randy Orton's facial animations and expressions he was making behind Drew, like really getting into it, kind of going a little nuts. So I liked that. And then, you're probably right there. There's some unfinished business after having their tag team match at SummerSlam that we really haven't gotten the payoff yet between the two. So I could see them now pushing toward Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre while maybe Cody Rhodes gets a break. I'm guessing that's the reason why he's not been on the road. They're just giving a couple weeks off since he's been probably going hard.
No, Cody also off filming, as we were talking about earlier with Roman.
Yeah,
so Cody's
true.
got some of those responsibilities as well. Jimmy is a one-on-one big win over Orton, just what McIntyre needs is to really heat up a program on the chase for Cody.
Absolutely, he does. Otherwise, if he loses to Orton, why are we going to move forward with that program between Cody and Drew? So, yeah, man, he needs a big win. Let's be honest, dudes. I mean, When was the last time he's had an actual big win?
Well, he beat up Jelly Roll.
But he still didn't win, though. So, and what I mean by
they
that,
won.
like,
Jelly Roll ate that pin.
he's been a loser, bro. Let's be honest. He's been a total loser. He walks the walk and he talks the talk, but he keeps getting done every time. I mean, and he shouldn't be. That's on WWE. They shouldn't be doing that to him because look at the guy. I mean, how do you put a guy looking like that down all the time, man? He needs this win. So if they don't give him this win to Orton, I don't know what to say about his career moving forward after that.
How about a swerve here for you, MSG? I'll let you tackle this one. What's a bigger program for WWE? We thought it was going to be Drew and Cody. Is it that direction, or do you insert and we go back to the legacy days? Or is Orton and Cody a bigger draw?
I think Orton and Cody are probably a bigger draw because I think Orton's probably has bigger star power than Drew McIntyre, especially right now. Like as Jimmy is even pointing out, when's the last time Drew McIntyre has won a really big singles match for himself? You know, he went through the feud with CM Punk and he didn't win that feud. He went through the feud with Damian Priest and did he win? Did he win that feud?
No, he got humiliated.
Yeah,
He got stomped.
So he
Seriously,
hasn't.
I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah, so I mean, he really hasn't gotten anything over in a while in regards to him winning matches. So I could see them doing Orton and Cody first, but it looks like they're going Orton Drew. That's what it looks like. We're getting back to that first before we even go to Cody.
Probably, I think if you go with Orton, I think you'll agree here, Jimmy. If you go with Orton, you'll again go to a divide with the Cena, where you got half the people cheering and half booing Cody. Drew is a heat machine. He can execute that heel for you to put, the sympathy, get all the cheers on your champion where you want to redirect those.
And they need one of those guys right now, like that can do that all the time.
They need Drew. They need Drew
do.
in a big win. Orton can help that program with a put over here into the fall, and then maybe they end up hooking up down there in your neck of the woods for their first match down there or something. So
yeah,
we'll see where.
Still can't believe that.
where the setup is. But really, we talked about the main event in the ring, but the highlight of this episode of SmackDown was the face-off. It is John Cena, former champ. He is getting set for his clash in Paris against Logan Paul. Again, Cena is the first one out here. He's got that new gear. Dublin crowd absolutely loving it. But before they can have an intimate moment in an exchange, and John can let them know how much he has loved them over the years, Logan Paul's not going to have any of that. He's going to take that away. Here comes you talk about a heel that can generate that heat. This crowd is letting them have it. People just love to hate this dude, Jimmy.
I mean, come on. I mean, wouldn't you?
I mean, that's what he is so good at. I mean, he's going as they're chanting at him, they're cursing at him, and he's reminding them, "Hey, you're hurting yourself. You're going to get beeped out. No one's even going to hear you, idiots." I thought in the exchange, one of the more entertaining is again Paul saying that Cena's pretty much is now an actor that just happens to know how to wrestle, and Cena is very quick to point out why Paul is a very gifted individual. He understands the hustle. He's clueless about the loyalty and respect, and that Paul has only had 23 matches. Cena's been at this 23 years. 23 Skadi MSG. I thought it was a pretty good exchange between these two.
I agree. I thought this was probably the highlight of the show between the two. I liked what Logan had to say. Thought it was strong, even though I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul. I thought at least what he had to say was good. And then John Cena, him retorting back. I liked a lot of what John Cena had to say, his lines. I liked the line about him saying that he's already in a lot of legal trouble because he is, and he's a POS. So yeah, I thought this was a good exchange back and forth. I think the ending with him picking him up for the F5 was kind of a little curmudgeon. Looked like he struggled there for a second, so it didn't look as smooth. Sorry, AAFU, whatever. It didn't look as smooth. And either way, I thought this was a good send off, if you will, because they're not going to be on Friday this week. Thought that was a good send off for the pay-per-view.
Oh, so they're not back. Okay, so those guys are leaving, then coming back. Then okay, I wasn't sure if they were
I
advertised.
don't think they're going to
for it.
be. I don't think John Cena's advertised for this week, is he?
Yeah, because they advertised some matches and all that, but they didn't say that either of them were going to be back for this. So this
Right.
might have been that big send off as well. We got a little bit more to talk about. You say, yeah, Paul eats that AA, Cena exits there. Jimmy, just in the in-ring exchange before we get to the big payoff moment, what did you think about that?
I thought it was a brilliant actual segment. I actually enjoyed it surprisingly. Once again, I thought both of them were great and made some great points. As much as everyone loves to hate Logan Paul, and he is pretty much a piece of shit. Let's be honest, right? But the guy gets it, man. Like, you can't take that away from him. And Cena even gave him the credit as well that he gets it, and he's probably going to be a future WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And I can see that, man. I think it would be absolute money to actually give him the belt. But what's crazy, has it really been 4 years already since he's been around?
Probably.
That's what he said,
keep it
right?
track in my Rolodex, but yeah, but it is. You guys were talking about because at the beginning of these shows now, the WWE thing to do is to show everyone walking around into the arena. And MSG, I even popped on this when I thought of you, because when they showed Logan Paul, he walked out from behind like a tractor trailer. Like, what kind of shady shit is he up to back there?
I don't
like,
know.
there's no entrance. Like, why were you just hanging out behind this tractor trailer and the camera catches you just walking out? Like,
I don't
what
know,
kind of
man.
shady shit are you up to, Logan Paul? That's why everyone hates you and pays to see you get punched in the face. But that's that slime ball heel that you want. And,
But he gets it.
And before Drew ate that RKO, 2 slime balls meet up in the back, and Drew reminds him, he's like, dude, you just ate an AA. You kind of got embarrassed. Don't be afraid. That's not Super Cena. You need to get paid back tonight. And lo and behold, they give us that thing. As we're watching the rest of the show, we go to the main event with the ladies. And I was even thinking to myself, and you said you guys had pointed out, you guys were watching before we went to record, like, they're not going to pay that off. They're not going to pay that off. But at the very end of the show, we see John exiting his private dressing room, and Aldis runs him down, and he's got some big news. I kind of like this teaser, this cliffhanger here. Hey, I've heard from Brock Lesnar's camp. But before we can get anything, wham! Paul runs in with a little drive-by, tags Cena, knocks him out cold. And I guess Paul's running all the way to Paris. At that point, that's where he's going to be this week. He's just running all the way there. But a little shocker there, Jimmy, to end the show with Paul just dropping.
I liked it. I actually liked that because the production made that look a lot better than what it really was. You know what I mean? From that angle, it actually looked pretty good. So for once, we ended the show on a cliffhanger of sort, right? They don't usually do that anymore. You know what I mean? So I was happy about that because I haven't seen anything like that in many years, it feels like. And I just like the way it was done. And that's the thing now with Logan Paul. Him just running through, just dropping whoever he feels like dropping. And it's always down a hallway for whatever reason.
Well, you got to have an exit, man.
Right. Quick exit. He's out of here, man. And, it'd be great to see. I mean, wouldn't it be heat if he beat Cena? Come at Clash of Party. I mean, that would be something else if he did. But I doubt they're going to do that. But you never know.
Well, MSG, your thoughts there? I mean, does Paul have a chance here? We haven't really seen good guy John Cena win a singles match in years.
True.
I don't know. If you want to talk wrestling business-wise, the smart thing would be to put Logan Paul over, right? John Cena putting people over on the way out.
Right.
That would be the smart business-wise to do. As far as me being a fan, I don't want to see John Cena lose this match. I don't want to see anybody help put Logan Paul over in any way.
You really can't stand him, huh?
He's a piece of shit, yeah.
He is a bit of a piece of shit, but he's one of your pieces of shit, actually, Rick. How is he looked at in your neck of the woods, since he's actually a Cleveland guy, from Ohio himself? Is he looked at in a positive light at all, or?
You know what? Not even people in Ohio like him. Everybody loves to hate this dude.
Damn.
He probably I would say him, his brother, Conor McGregor, and probably now Raja Jackson are probably the most want to watch just get punched in the face people on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's sad? Ben brought up a good point since you brought up Jackson there, Raj. What's sad is he's probably going to get elevated somehow from all this. You know, he wanted to get famous. Unfortunately, he got famous. You know, whether it's in a good way or bad way, it is what it is.
It is what it is, but that's the side we live in. But gentlemen, yeah. So overall, we've had some bad weekly television. We talked about a pretty bad Raw this morning. I got to be honest with you. I by no means I'm giving this a curve. I'm probably giving this SmackDown a C, maybe C plus. We did get some business done, but in ring, not a whole lot of excitement. MSG, your thoughts on this week's Blue Brain?
Yeah, no, I was going to say the same thing and give this a C. There were some good moments on the show with Logan Paul and John Cena and Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre's special segment there with Drew McIntyre coming out. I liked that segment. Oh, some of the matches were okay. The tag match between Mello Miz and the Motor Machine Guns was good. We didn't really get a match between Damian Priest and Aleister Black. I did pop for R-Truth saying Dublin, Georgia. He went to Dublin, Georgia instead of Dublin, Ireland. But yeah, overall, I'd give it a C.
Jimmy, your thoughts?
Wow, we're going to do the trifecta. I'm going to say the same thing, the C plus for me as well. I mean, I will even say this. It was a better watch than Raw, too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Good because we've been getting a lot of D's across the board from them, so...
And soon, if they keep going the way they're going, I'm going to give them an F. Because I've given a few of those on the AEW side of things, but never for WWE.
Oh, I thought you meant for France.
Well, I mean, they are in France, obviously, this week or tomorrow. Or Sunday, you said now, right? It's on Sunday.
Yes. So we are going to make some sense of that. Stay tuned to our socials and here on the page for the alert. We're going to make some sense of if we're going to do a watch along in the afternoon, if we're just going to leave that for a late night, if we're going to do a post show, we're going to make sense of that and we will get all that news out to you.
Absolutely. Well, you're saying that, boys, I guess it's time we can take it home. So, Rick, I'll start with you. I know you just mentioned what's going on, but
yeah, we're going to make sense of that.
What's going on and how to find you and what's going on with RBV Eats?
I put it in my mouth, I chew, I swallow, then I go to the bathroom. That is the complete scope of hashtag RBV Eats Out. And you just find me here on the page, the HMG YouTube channel there. We did it before. Everybody knows where to find us.
Matt, anything else you want to say?
I'm good. South Park Pods. Hit us up.
Well, they just said it. I don't need to repeat it. You know where to find me too, I guess, at this point. Just tune in for if we do the watch along and what time and when we do it. I'm sure we can update you guys pretty soon. But in saying that, till next time, I am Jimmy T. He is my co-host, the Blue Balls brand himself, R to the B to the V. And of course, we got MSG in the house this week on the SmackAtack. Until next time, peace.
Hey, funny enough, I just whipped over to my Facebook page and my old 8th grade girlfriend, who was the one that used to give me blue balls all the time, was the first one posted on my timeline. So see you in hell, Ellen. Thanks for the blue balls.
Well, here you have it. And just remember, like and subscribe right here on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel. We appreciate you all doing that. We're up to 1,500, I think, at this point, or close to it. So please keep sharing us around. Keep telling everybody where you can find the best wrestling podcast in all of the interwebs right here on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel. And, of course, on channelattitude.com after the fact. And we're out. See yous.